In the last few days, since Saturday, I've been flooded with so many messages. Hey Chris, what's up with the Overturn Prophecy? What's up with the update on the update of Overturn Prophecy? Okay, people of course have been very, very anxious. Yeah, and so today I'm just preparing a recording based on what the prophetess who visited the country last week, okay, based on what she said and based on what the prophetic update she received from the Lord said. I'll of course be posting a longer, more detailed video later on, but for now I decided to do this brief one, at least so that people can cool down on their curiosity, people can cool down on the emails and the messages, even on the channel. Okay, so here goes. Now, of course, the big question, which was really nagging people, was what overturn are we waiting for? Yeah, are we waiting for the second overturn, or are we waiting for the third overturn? And there have been all manner of theories which have come up about these overturns. Okay, so the clarification from the servant of God was very simple. She said that initially she had made a mistake in counting the overturns and interpreting the verse to mean 3 overturns. The long and short of what she said is that there are not 3 overturns. The overturns are not 3. So how many are they? Well, there are many. That's really what it is. That the whole idea, the word of God was that the overturn repeated 3 times was for emphasis. Because the overturns are definitely more than 3. And the overturn, of course, goes beyond the political. Yeah? Because what the Lord wants to do, He wants to overturn, the whole of Kenya. Not only Kenya, indeed the whole of Africa. And in fact, we've already seen signs of this unfolding on the continent at rapid speed, which has left very many people shocked. Yeah? As I make this recording, Mugabe is out of power. Yeah? Mugabe resigned under very mysterious circumstances, which people are still trying to figure out. Yeah? It was a military coup, which was not a military coup. Yeah? Because the military brought pressure on him, but then strangely enough, the military didn't take over. Yeah? Somebody else took over the presidency. We know what happened in South Africa. Zuma resigned under a lot of pressure. Okay? We know what happened in Ethiopia. The prime minister resigned. And basically what we are seeing is just amazing, unbelievable things unfolding on our political scene. Okay? So we should expect more of that. But then the overturns are going to be, as I've said, beyond political. Yeah? There's going to be overturns in the church. Yes. Because if you read the word of God, it says, judgment starts in the house of God. Now, the 2017 elections will go down in history as the election with the most prophecies spoken over it. Okay? But we cannot forget that in the run-up to the election, we've had all sorts of people make predictions. And these predictions were, of course, based on tribal inclinations on one of either sides of the political divide. Now, of course, these predictions were made, and the people making them knew very well that after the elections, things would go back to normal. Okay? And therefore, what they did would be hidden. For instance, if they predicted that the status quo would remain, they would say, yeah, I was right. But now it's becoming very clear that it's not as simple as that. And therefore, obviously, a lot of these so-called servants of God are going to be put to shame. That is an overturn. Things will never be the same. It is not business as usual. Definitely not. And according to the prophetess, because I had a brief conversation with her before I made this recording, she says that even if you look in Africa, there are signs of what the new leadership is going to be. Because after an overturn, you expect something brand new on the scene. Okay? In Liberia, we have a very young, a former footballer, now president. Okay? In Nigeria, very interesting, we have a very young man who's non-political, vying for the presidency. And his candidacy looks more and more serious every day. Those are just signs which can give us direction for those of us who are in Kenya. Of course, Kenya is a very important part of God's plan for Africa. That is without doubt. Okay? And so that is the update on the Overturn Prophecy. Yeah? you cannot limit them to 3 so that after we see the third overturn, you can relax and say, Bas, phew, zimeisha. No way. There are so many overturns coming on the way. Yeah, and the repetition of overturn was for emphasis sake. Yeah, so those who are discouraged, those who feel if prophecy ilikuwa namna gani, relax. There are a lot of very crazy things that are going to happen, because when you say you're going to overturn something, it literally means overturn. It's like turning a person upside down. It's a major thing. Okay, so we should expect quite a lot of things to happen on that front. Now, having said that, those who are regular at this channel will also be aware of prophecies from other servants of God who have given the example of the chair. Yeah, and I interpreted it to mean the example of the African stool. Yeah, the African stool has 3 legs. Okay, and those prophecies were to the effect that there was somebody who was sitting on a chair on a presidency, and those legs were being plucked off one by one. Now, I've no doubt on my mind whatsoever that change is coming to Kenya. That one, there's no doubt. You can take that to the bank, you can cash it in. There's absolutely no doubt. Change is coming to Kenya. However, prophecy is not instant coffee. Yeah, and a lot of people may be disappointed with the update on the overturn prophecy, expecting maybe the update should have been something instant. Yeah, that in a day or two, or in a week, or in 2 weeks, this will happen. I appreciate the fact that people want action, but God does not work like that. Okay, now, as a rider to the overturn prophecy, we have been told that change is coming to Kenya. However, the change will not come when Kenyans expect it, and the change will not come how Kenyans expect it. Okay? Now, I guess using my own interpretation, I'm not a prophet, but I guess using my own interpretation, many of us expected the change to come as a result of the disputed election. Yeah? Possibly within the election cycle. Well, obviously that has not happened, but that does not mean change is not coming. Indeed, that does not mean that change is not very, very close, closer than anybody thinks. That's really what it is. The bottom line, and the very important thing for all of us Kenyans to realize, is that the work which the Lord is doing in Kenya, yeah, He wants to make it very clear that it is Him doing it, number 1. Number 2, it is extremely important for Kenyans to know why the Lord is doing this work. Yeah, He's not doing this work to lift up Jubilee. He's not doing this work to lift up NASA. No, He's doing this work to bring a complete change, a complete paradigm shift in the nation called Kenya. Something that will make Kenya completely unrecognizable from what has been going on in the past. And that is something we can look forward to. I'll be posting a message from the prophetess later, and even a longer recording. So we can look forward to that so that you can get everything in detail, including some verses that she was given, yeah, to support the update on the overturn prophecy. But for now, I thought that at least would serve to for the curious, so that at least they have something to hold on to as we prepare the other stuff, the other recordings for later. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.